What's up, you guys? So, in case y'all haven't heard, fans of The Real Housewives of Potomac are calling for a boycott of the show because of the blatant colorism among the cast. And there's even a petition, actually, several petitions, to have Gizelle Bryant fired from the show. So, we're going to get into all that in this video. But first, y'all know the drill. If you're watching, you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And everyone, click the thumbs up button. All right, you guys. So, in the third and final installment of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, we see Gizelle Bryant blame Candace and Wendy, the two darker skinned stars of the show, of being responsible for the fight that was actually started by a friend of the show, Deborah, who is a lighter complexion. And it just seems like another blatant example of blaming the darker skinned women on the show for acts of violence, even when they're on the receiving end of the violence. And that goes not just for physical violence, but for verbal abuse as well. And Wendy, who wasn't even involved in the altercation, just can't seem to catch a break. Meanwhile, Gizelle ignores the fact that her co star Ashley was talking to Deborah right before Deborah approached Candace and may or may not have hyped Deborah up. She completely ignores that. And it just seems so convenient that the lighter skinned castmates are absolved of any guilt in the situation and the darker skinned castmates are blamed, even if they weren't even involved, like Wendy. And so at this point, fans of The Real Housewives of Potomac are calling for a boycott of the show, especially with Candace bowing out gracefully from the show and Wendy possibly being on her way out the door too. People on social media are reacting, including Candace, who shared a clip of that part of the reunion on Twitter. And she said, "Y'all can literally have this. It's triggering. Good luck." And someone else said, "Truth be told, the network should have removed Gizelle out of RHOP like how they did Phaedra in RHOA when Gizelle lied about what happened with her and Chris. But clearly, we see there's favoritism when it comes to Gizelle. You made the best decision to leave that show." And for clarity, the lie he's referring to is when Gizelle started amping up her statement and saying that Chris made her go into the hotel room when he didn't actually make her. So that makes what she said a lie. So this person is saying if Gizelle lied and Phaedra got kicked off her show, why is Gizelle still here? What's the difference between Gizelle and Phaedra? And it looks like colorism. It looks like Giselle's lighter skin tone is letting her get away with things. She's a green eyed bandit. And another person, Nia Educational, said Bravo and Andy, along with production, allowed you to be attacked at your workplace by an unhinged woman they allowed to be on set, then turned around and let the colorist crew blame you and Wendy. At this point, between the racism the women from other franchises have experienced and the colorism happening on RHOP, it's clear that Bravo condones a toxic workplace. That's what Nene said. She said, "I think I'm cool on not just RHOP, but Bravo as a network." And that's how a lot of people are feeling, with there being several petitions to have Gizelle Bryant in particular fired from the show. This is one of the petitions. Fire Gizelle Bryant from The Real Housewives of Potomac. And people are making videos and everything. They said for far too long, Gizelle Bryant has used RHOP as a tool to tear down women and peddle overt colorism to the darker skinned women, all the while failing to contribute to a noticeable storyline that kept viewers interested in her and her employment by NBC Universal. It's time to let her go. There's also this petition that says remove Gizelle Bryant from Real Housewives of Potomac for her false SA accusations. And I just explained to you guys why they were false. That was the false accusation about her. But then she also claimed, as far as assault, that Chris grabbed Deborah's behind, which was not true. That was a blatant lie. So this person says, as a deeply concerned viewer, I'm personally affected by the actions of Gizelle Bryant on The Real Housewives of Potomac. She has been spreading damaging lies about Chris Bassett, potentially ruining an innocent man's life. Her accusations that he forced her, keyword forced her, into a hotel room and touched her friends, Deborah, inappropriately, are not only unfounded, but also incredibly harmful. Gizelle's behavior is not just affecting Chris Bassett and his reputation, but it's also impacting the overall quality and integrity of the show. It sets a dangerous precedent that false accusations can be made without any repercussions. Chris Bassett also lost his job because of Gizelle's heinous lies about him. And she ends saying Bravo should take responsibility for their cast members' actions. And so people are tweeting about the show. Jolene, Rodney the Voice tweeted, watching old clips of the Green Eyed Bandits body shame Dr. Wendy and tried to equate plastic surgery to her wanting to keep a man, being loose, having no substance. But we have Ashley walking around with new knockers and Karen with a new body and on her fifth face and not a word from them. That's true. Jesse Ray said Wendy read Gizelle down for playing with her husband and she's never recovered. She's been icing Wendy out ever since. Gizelle could never be a top-tier housewife. No reads, no comebacks, no fashions, just misery, lies, and resentment because her life sucks. And this is a clip from a previous season when Wendy read Gizelle for dating Jamal, a man who has cheated on her left and right and bringing Jamal around her kids after he's shown how much he doesn't respect her. Gizelle never recovered from that. And so boycott RHOP is actually trending on Twitter. It's trending now. And Winter Harris from Love and Marriage DC even hopped on it. And she said, using the argument, some people aren't cut out for reality TV because they won't tolerate bullying, verbal, mental, or emotional abuse is blatant gaslighting 101. Like, who raised some of y'all? Seriously. Now, I believe that's a reference to Candace because they act like Candace is the problem because she doesn't put up with what they do. Scuba Gooden Jr. said boycott RHOP is trending right before the third RHOP reunion episode. The girls are getting serious. Let's see how they like them ratings. And someone else said, enough is enough. Bravo has turned a blind eye to so many disgusting antics over the years, and this franchise has gotten completely out of hand. It's clear we are going to have to make some change happen. Do not tune into the reunion tonight. So y'all leave a comment and let me know what you're going to do. Are you going to continue watching The Real Housewives of Potomac? For me, I have to be honest with you guys. Next season, if Wendy is gone too, if both Candace and Wendy, the two women who complained about colorism being on the show, if they're both gone, and the two most aggressive women, Gizelle and Robin, even with Robin as a friend to the show, if they're both still there, and Ashley, then I'm not watching. I can't watch it. It's too disturbing for me to watch. But y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think. As always, thanks for watching. Layla.